Good evening, everyone. This is Atmospheric Alex here, and welcome back to another tropical weather outlook and discussion here, where we're going to be talking about our tropical wave that has come off of Africa and is expected to move on off to the west and potentially, like I said in the last video, threaten the Lesser Antilles. So I do believe it will curve a little further north of that. And then we have another area in the Caribbean, which we all should be paying attention to as well, just in case. We are now going to go ahead and take a look at satellite imagery as I put it in motion here. I'm going to go ahead and highlight a couple of key areas to watch here. We have our invest right down here, which looks, or not invest, our tropical wave down here, which is starting to look pretty vigorous down here. You're starting to see a bit of a spin to it starting to develop. And then we have a little bit of an area out here that I actually did not mention, a little bit of a tropical wave in the Gulf, but this is not anticipated to go anywhere really anytime soon. In fact, I think there's a 0% chance of development, so I'm not sure why they marked it. But this orange wave down here is going to be moving on off like this in this general direction, so Lesser Antilles may need to watch that later down the road. And then also a key feature I want to note is we do have a tropical upper tropospheric trough right within here, currently making the Atlantic, or especially the Caribbean, very unfavorable. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at this area of interest out here, and as you can see, it is starting to look a lot more organized here under this orange X, and this is anticipated to move into this general vicinity here and continue moving off in this general direction like this. Could we see us get closer to the islands? We'll have to wait and see, but the pattern this season thus far has been out to sea fish storm activity, and I really am not sure if that's going to change or not. We're now going to take a look at our European ensemble model here from WeatherBell, and you can see our main area of interest right over here. As it does get pretty close, we do have a few members making a landfall, though the newest data does not show this. But of course, the 12Z data here that I'm showing from this afternoon goes a lot further out than the absolute newest data does. But you can see the majority of these do curve out to sea, as we do have a gigantic trough that does develop right within here, and this would be the main mechanism of lifting all of this out to sea possibly. So that is something to note, like in that general direction right there. But as we go further out in time, it does appear that something could form in the Caribbean according to the European ensemble, a much stronger signal than we saw in the models yesterday. Around the 14th to probably the 19th of October, we could see some vigorous activity down here, and we're going to really have to watch this, because if anything does form down here in the Caribbean, it will cause very significant impacts to anyone involved with it. Now, our main European model here, this is what is currently showing. You can see our tropical wave out here that does not really become too organized until a lot later on down the road. Actually, never mind, this model doesn't do anything with it at all and keeps it an open wave passing just to the north of the Lesser Antilles, and we're not seeing any tropical development. But look down here in the Caribbean towards the very end, we do start to see a little bit of spin occur right within here, kind of like this, that we're really going to have to watch out for. That will be the potential Caribbean system that we could see around the 14th to 19th of October. Now, I would be a lot more confident if it wasn't for the AI model, which doesn't show too much, but we do see here with our main area of interest, we actually have a few areas to watch here on our AI model, and this is very fascinating. We have this one right here. We have another one up here near the Bahamas, which is very strange, and then our other area right within here actually does fire off some convection and forms into a weak tropical depression. So we're going to have to wait and see, but the European AI model does think we could see a chance of maybe more than one storm. That'd be interesting. This one actually has quite a few members on it too, as it rides up the East Coast. So I would even start to say maybe around the 8th to the 12th we may need to watch for maybe an East Coast system, but it won't likely be too strong. And then we have stuff out here as well. And then does the Caribbean get active? Not really. The AI model is not really seeing the potential out here. So that is why chances are not higher down here as of now. Now, as we go ahead and look at our main European AI model, it doesn't develop our system too well out here, but the one along the East Coast, you can see it here, it does start to get pretty strong. A 997 millibar low pressure system there. So that could definitely maybe bring some high waves to the coastline, some heavy rain. This is not a forecast because this is really the first couple runs this has showed up on, and it is only one model as well. And you could see definitely some impacts there from that. And as we go really fast down here in the Caribbean towards the end of the run, you do begin to see a lot of convergence down here and a lot of convection bubbling up right within this general area, and we could see something form and do something like this. Though again, not a forecast. We have no idea how much moisture will be down there at that time. And how about our GFS ensemble model here? As we go out through time, you could see for some reason this tries to develop something else right here. I'm not really buying that too much. That seems very bizarre. I mean, we do have convection down there, but I just don't think it's strong enough to sustain something like that. But you could see our main system here does curve out to sea quite rapidly here in succession, but our Caribbean does become a lot more active on this model here, pumping out a ton of systems here. Look at that. We do have something potentially forming in this general area here on the GEFS model, but again, not a forecast because we don't know for sure. But definitely a large area, and I'm going to highlight this in green, definitely a large area of lower pressure across this area here, and that again is what we're really going to have to watch out for. The Central American gyre may become very active into mid-October, which may cause a surprise major system out there that could cause a lot of impacts. Again, not doing this for fear-mongering or clicks or anything, but we have seen some crazy stuff happen down here this late in the season. How about our super long-range GEFS ensemble here? This is from last night, and you can see there is some stuff going on in the Caribbean, some mischief going on down there. And as we continue it on through, just more and more members are showing development. A lot of them do try and push it out to sea, not before hitting, say, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, and the Bahamas, but you get the idea. I shouldn't be listing specific areas this far out, but definitely a signal down there, and it's growing for sure by the run. Our main GFS model here develops this system way too quickly out here, so I'm going to go ahead and put a ginormous red X on it because this is just absolutely diabolical. I do not expect a major hurricane by the 5-day mark. That is absolutely insane, borderline stupid for this model to be showing. So please keep that in mind. Likely not going to happen, but regardless, it will curve out to sea more than likely, not cause much harm. We do have our other system up here that our AI model was depicting, which does impact the Northeast. So some rainy weather, windy weather is going to be possible around the 8th to the 12th, potentially even extending that a little bit more than just that. So something we need to watch out for. And then down here in the Caribbean, we see a system trying to form there, a system trying to form there, maybe another one, and then there you go. Our Central American gyre does become quite active as we head into mid-October, right within there, where I've been circling this entire video. So why is the gyre becoming active now? Why is that happening? We do have a massive plume of rising air that actually lands itself right on top of the Atlantic, most notably in the areas of the Caribbean out here. If I can get my pen to work, goodness gracious. Out in these general areas here, we do have a lot of rising air, so that is going to lead to a lot of convection, a lot of thunderstorm activity, and a lot of vorticity and spin in the mid to upper levels, potentially even lower levels as well, leading to tropical activity. This continues here. This is your European ensemble. This just keeps going through your 17th, almost 18th of October, so it has extended that time frame by about 3 to 4 more days than it did yesterday. This is something we need to watch for, and why our Caribbean development has been a lot more aggressive today than it was yesterday. Our GEFS ensemble, we're going to go really far in time here. You can see same song and dance there across the Atlantic, but towards the end, okay, going into late October, we see a big plume of sinking air, so a lot of subsidence, less thunderstorm activity, and so November, we'll have to wait and see. Looks like a bit of a wild card. Could we see activity? Well, only time will tell. And with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning into today's very short video, because there is not a lot to talk about out there. Weather is calming down quite significantly, and that is some good news. Unless you're in the Caribbean, we're going to have to watch that. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to my little corner of the weather community, and share this with friends and family on social media, and also leave a comment in the section below if you found this video entertaining and informative especially. That being said, have a wonderful night everyone, and stay tropical weather aware.